Hello everyone, and welcome to my B&B Gossips update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sheila promises to leave Taylor alone in exchange for Steffy, but on one condition? According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Sheila Sharp has a fantastic opportunity if she is prepared to seize it. This could be Sheila's opportunity to demonstrate that she can restrain her worst tendencies and be a little more astute about how she responds to frustrating circumstances. When Sheila learns that Deacon Sharp has such intense affections for Taylor Hayes, she will unavoidably lose it. That makes sense given that Deacon has been lying to Sheila about their marriage while developing feelings for his therapist. Sheila has every right to be upset with Taylor for falling in love with Deacon, of course. Sheila's outburst is understandable. The only question is how far she will take her rage. It would be pleasant if Sheila could settle down after her initial rage and see that she can turn things around. Given Sheila's past on B&B, it seems natural that Steffy Forrester Finnegan believes Sheila is a violent sociopath who may seriously hurt Taylor. But injuring Taylor would just provide Sheila with momentary satisfaction and another prison sentence. Sheila should try to acquire what she wants by playing it smart. Sheila might get a son and a grandson even if she loses her spouse. Sheila has the ideal chance to approach Steffy in a composed manner and propose that they make a deal. Sheila may pledge to avoid Taylor, and perhaps allow her to live happily ever after with Deacon. Given how Deacon has treated her, Sheila might insist on bidding him farewell. In any case, Sheila can maintain that her desire goes much beyond retaliation. What happens if Sheila promises to leave Taylor alone and requests something from Steffy in exchange? If Sheila plays her cards well, she might be able to negotiate with Hayes and John Finnegan for a while. Sheila would have the opportunity to finally connect with her family, even if Steffy is watching over her visits. Steffy might at least listen to Sheila and take her suggestion into consideration, though there's no guarantee she would agree. In any event, Sheila will soon receive shocking news regarding Deacon and Taylor's romance because Steffy's attempt to keep them apart will fail. Keep an eye on the CBS soap opera, The Bold and the Beautiful, as spoilers indicate that Sheila will have to choose between seeking revenge and something more constructive. When Dylan learns of Ivy's plot, should she remain silent to protect her own will? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful suggest that Dylan may soon find herself in a difficult situation. Dylan could have to decide between acting morally and pursuing her desires. Dylan kept her love for Will Spencer a secret until his official breakup with Electra Forrester, but she has now revealed everything. Dylan demonstrated that she does, in fact, feel a connection to Will by kissing him. Naturally, Will is still in pain from his breakup with Electra, and isn't ready to commit to another woman just yet. Nevertheless, Will is grateful for Dylan, because she is now making his life more enjoyable and humorous. Dylan and Will seem to get along well, so it won't be long before their relationship gets stronger. In the end, Dylan might assist Will in letting go of Electra, so before you know it, they might be on their way to the bedroom. Dylan can receive a surprise just when Will and Dylan's relationship is beginning to heat up. Dylan may be in a good position to eavesdrop since she is about to accept Steffy Forrester Finnegan's Forrester employment offer. What happens if Ivy Forrester and Daphne Rose have a heated conversation while Dylan is hiding outside the design office? That might cause Dylan to discover that Electra and Will's breakup was actually caused by Ivy's manipulation. Dylan may learn that Ivy stole the letter and gave Electra Will's necklace instead. Dylan will have to make a significant choice after learning that Ivy was responsible for Electra and Will's breakup. A part of Dylan may be tempted to tell Will the truth and let him determine whether or not this affects his future with Electra. But in the end, Dylan's more self-centered side might prevail. Dylan might decide to remain silent in order to have Will to herself. Stay in as spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Dylan, Will, Electra, and RJ Forrester's love triangle will become even more messy. Ridge reacts, Dylan responds, and RJ reconnects. Here are spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate Melissa Dillon responding to a job offer in tomorrow's episode. RJ Forrester makes contact with relatives again. Additionally, Bill Spencer's statement causes Ridge Forrester to lose it. Discover what will happen next in the CBS soap opera by continuing to read. Let's begin with Dylan. The young woman was employed at Il Giardino alongside Deke Sharp. Steffy Forrester Finnegan called when they were bussing tables. As asked, Dylan immediately headed to Forrester Creations, but she assumed there was another reason. Given that Steffy is linked to Elektra Forrester, Dylan assumed she was in jeopardy. But Steffy made her an offer for a position that would pay significantly more than what she is currently making at Il Giardino. Expect Dylan to enthusiastically accept the job offer in tomorrow's episode. Dylan's arrival will make Steffy very happy. She informed Will Spencer that personal and professional lives cannot collide. Steffy is the worst violator of the regulation, though. After that, someone needs to prepare Elektra for the announcement that Dylan will take over as receptionist. This implies that Elektra will have to see and hear Dylan on a daily basis. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that RJ will eventually reunite his relatives. As it happens, RJ and Eric Forrester get back in touch. RJ may want his grandfather to talk about what transpired with Rich Forrester and Katie Logan Spencer. I'm curious if Eric will offer RJ any romantic guidance in the interim. Eric has always had a knack for figuring out when someone is in love. The supper hasn't gone according to plan. Ridge and Bill Spencer had to have a pepper competition while Katie and Brooke Logan Forrester lived in harmony. Katie was asked to return to FC by Brooke. But rather than allowing his wife to respond, Bill did so on her behalf. Bill's first error was that. Bill then goes on to establish the law. But Ridge retaliates. Will this plot ever have a conclusion? I picture Brooke and Katie patching things up. But what does that entail for Ridge's anger and Bill's investment? According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope and Deke are likely acting out of love and care. But for many of the show's detractors, enough is enough. Naturally, we are discussing Hope Logan and her brother Deke Sharp, as it appears that they are actively pressuring their father Deacon Sharp to leave Sheila Carter in favor of Taylor Hayes. The question is, though, is it really their business at this point? Given Sheila's reputation for being insane and deranged, they undoubtedly want the best for their father. But who is to say that he will fall deeply in love with Taylor? As of right now, it's possible that this is merely a passing crush between them. In addition, Deacon may be experiencing a midlife crisis. Fans of The Bold and the Beautiful obviously had a lot to say about the issue on social media. I find it funny how people have been real quiet now that Hope is doing the same thing Steffy did. Only somehow more morally wrong, one commenter said. We used to get tired of Thomas and Steffy's matchmaking in this way. Hope and Deke are doing too much, wrote another show critic. Yes, Steffy was acting like she usually does, bossy etc. But since she has been Sheila's victim, she also has the right to express her opinions. What she's saying is accurate. Additionally, it's exhausting for Deke and Hope to just keep pushing and doing what Steffy usually did with her parents. So yes, soap opera life. It's all quite entertaining. I simply can't stand the two of them. They shove Taylor down Deacon's throat every 5 minutes. Everyone must prioritize their own lives. On the other hand, viewers will only need to tune in every single day to see what happens next. Brooke and Ridge are furious that Logan is using Eric's designs when Steffy offers Dylan a job. Will called Elektra out on her hypocrisy when she became enraged that his lips had touched another woman's. Finn tries to divert Steffy's attention from her concerns about Deacon and her mother in the Forrester office. They discuss Hayes' desire to visit Deacon. Steffy believes they might still promote Jamie and hire Dylan as their receptionist. Dylan confesses to Deke at Il Giardino that she believes she is falling for Will. She won't leave as long as he permits her to remain. She is aware that he must first resolve the issue with Elektra. Deke claims that Will notice how gorgeous she is on the inside and out. He is pleased that things are finally going her way when they clear the tables. He claims that Elektra differs greatly from them. She has everything given to her, and people fall under her spell. The non-Forresters deserve a break, he says. She receives a call from Steffy asking her to visit the workplace. Dylan worries if she's in trouble as she hangs up. Will is found pouting in the design office by pouty Jamie and Kingsley. They learned of his breakup. They offer to give him anything he wants to make him feel better because it is extremely awful. He gives the women his gratitude. They want to show him that there is life after Elektra and assist him in relaxing. He doesn't know about it yet, but it sounds entertaining to him. If he decides to change his mind, he will text them. When Will visits Il Giardino, he speaks with Deke, who informs him that Dylan has just fled to Forrester. They hypothesize about what's going on after Deke slides him a beer. Steffy informs Dylan that she has been considering her since returning to Forrester. Dylan jumps right in to attempt to explain, but Steffy is worried about the challenging period she's been going through. Steffy says that in order to thank her for her extraordinary kindness, she would like to offer her a job. She gives her a job at Forrester. Dylan feels overburdened. Bill reminds Katie at Logan that they own Eric's designs and are making them. They are progressing, he says again. She doesn't want to discuss it at dinner tonight because she knows it's just business. Ridge gives Brooke a grunt while they talk about what they can do for Eric. She hopes to resume her relationship with her sister. They are curious about her future designer. When Bill and Katie arrive, they decide to make an effort to get along. Brooke informs her sister that she wants to start again tonight. Bill makes fun of Ridge's taste when they are drinking wine. Bill discusses the changes in the publishing sector while they are seated at the table. Ridge mocks his jewelry, calling it cutthroat. Ridge can't quit slinging jabs at Eric, despite the women's best efforts to maintain harmony. The pepper steak is delivered by the crew. Bill adds additional pepper to his. Ridge attempts to keep up with him. Brooke claims the males are not being helpful as they quarrel over Eric. For PR purposes, Brooke advises her sister to return to Forrester. Bill bursts out laughing and says his wife will never come back. Ridge and Brooke inquire about Logan's designs. Katie explains that Eric created almost the whole collection. Ridge and Brooke claim that this is not taking place. Bill claims it is steak after eating it. They are unable to use the Diazens, according to Brooke. Will demonstrated that he is not at all like his father, Bill. Despite everything they have gone through, he has remained loyal to Elektra. When he discovered RJ and Elektra, he decided to leave rather than escalate the situation. Viewers of B&B questioned Will's devotion to Elektra. He was obviously disturbed by what he's seen. However, he refused to let that control how he felt. Will might have confronted RJ and called them out. Rather, he allowed his emotions to flare up inside. Before leaving Forrester Creations, he messed up the reception area. Will is the kind of person who takes time to process his emotions. He had to consider what he had saw while in disbelief. He instructed Dylan not to tell anyone about RJ and Elektra's kiss when he got back to the beach home. This line wasn't meant to be thrown away. It demonstrated that he didn't want it to become a major drama.